Okay, guys and gals, so this is an auxiliary battery replacement on a Mercedes GLK350. Is that what it is? GLK350? I think so. I'll correct that if that's wrong. It's a GLK something. Anyway, I'm fighting glare a little bit. The sun is right directly to my back. It's kind of glaring on this whole area, so I'm going to be adjusting this as we go along, and I hope that I hope I can make it come out decently. Anyway, this is how to do it yourself and save, I don't know how much, $250, $400 from a Mercedes dealer. Crazy amount of money. Anyway, pull this cover off. And the auxiliary battery is right under here. And one of the, I'll just put the owner's manual, first aid kit out of the way. One of the most difficult things is going to be to get this formed plastic piece out of here without removing a bunch of trim. So I'm going to try and do it without removing a bunch of trim. Okay, we're going to need a couple of, oh God, this. I'm sorry. Okay, it's better this way. Trying to fight this bright sunlight at my back. Apologies. Okay, gonna get these nuts off. I already had this off once to take a look at the battery size. That's a little sleeve that goes in underneath the nut to protect the plastic from wearing out. Let me find the right size here. And also there's one Torx right there. It's a huge Torx. I can't imagine why they use such a big Torx there to hold on a plastic piece. Okay, I think we've got the exposure figured out. So this is a 10mm nut, and that is a monster 45 T45 Torx. Crazy. Let's get these off. There's a little tab on this tray. Pull that tray out and you're going to find two more T45 Torx. Let me try a little more adjusting. I don't know whether that's better or not. Well, I really won't find out until I get it on my computer screen. Anyway, now we got this all loose, and to get it out, see, it's underneath a little tab here and there, but not on the other end. So you have to kind of wiggle it and twist it and turn it and take this end out first, and then the other end will come with it. Trust me, you can get it out. I can't give you the exact angles or detail on how to get it out. So you'll have to play around with it a little bit. And I don't think it'll break, but just keep twisting and wiggling and turning and everything, and it'll come out. Mainly you have to pop it over these two bolts that stick out. They're fastened in there sort of permanently, and that will help get it loose. So pull it out off of those bolts. To get the second one out, go a little bit that way. That's how I got it off the second one. The first one was kind of just straight up. The second one was a little bit that way. Okay, so here's our battery. We've been getting a message. I don't know the exact message. Somebody can put it down in the comments if you like to, please. It says auxiliary battery needs charging, or auxiliary battery error, or something like that. Sorry, I don't have the exact words. So now let's look at the new battery. And you can see this is not going to be that hard to get it out. Okay, so let me give you some information here. This is what I got. You can get any battery that has the right specs and the right dimensions. Both of those are important. If you get the wrong size, it's not going to fit in the little metal cage that they've got there for it. So this is what I got. It's just a motorcycle battery. You can spend, I don't know, $150 at your Mercedes dealer for something that has a Mercedes label on it. And guess what? It'll be made by one of these same companies and just relabeled. And it probably won't even be made in the States. So this is what I decided to get because it had the best warranty. It had the right specs. And it had the right dimensions, and it had a 4-year warranty. Let me get it out. I can't find a date of manufacture on here, which is too bad, but that's what it is. They sell a ton of these for motorcycles, so I don't think it's real old stock. I think it's probably pretty fresh, but we'll see how it works in the car. These are some adapters that you place underneath here, the one that's threaded like that, and then you can screw down the Mercedes bolt. Okay, there they are next to each other, so it looks pretty good so far. See, this has like a cage holder that we're going to take off. Has some little rubber vibration things, and we'll have to obviously disconnect the positive and the negative. So let's get that old battery out. So the old battery, before I go any further, it has this breather thing. So it's probably some kind of a lead acid battery, and this one is a gel battery, which does not need that breather. So you can just take this off and plug it up, or just tape it to the side next to that. It really doesn't do anything. It just goes to fresh air, I suppose. Don't get another lead acid battery. Get a gel, or whatever this is. I don't think it's lithium ion. I think it's or NiCad. I think it's just a gel battery, which doesn't create fumes to any great extent, or at least not enough to need a breather. Just snap off that little positive cover. Okay, I like to take off the positive first. If I take off the negative first and then touch the negative to any ground, like any other metal part of the car, I could get a spark from the positive going to ground. So I take the positive off first, and I'm just going to put it out of the way. I put a little cover over the negative just to be extra safe. So just that one right there will let you rotate this cover of this cage off the battery, and then the battery's loose. Just pull that out, and it's a little bit heavy. There, we are out. And I'm just going to take these back to the bench and lay them side by side and check the dimensions. Don't tip this one much, because I don't know if it's a lead acid or whether anything will pour out of it or not. I don't think so, but it does have that breather on there. See, this old battery does actually have a date out on it. This Mercedes is a 2015, so this was made the 17th week of 2015. So they did put a date on that one. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's almost 6 years old. This is March, beginning of March, so maybe 10 weeks in. And let me get the specs on this just to be clear for you. So here are the specs. Okay. 12 volts, 14 amps. The dimensions you can see. I did eyeball it. It is the correct size. So it looks like it does actually have a little more power than this one is rated at 12 amps. I don't know what the 170 is, and I don't have that rating on this one here. Somebody knows what the 170 is? Put it down in the comments. Oh, this is absorbent gas mat. AGM stands for absorbent gas mat. So this is not really lead acid. You could put this in upside down and I think it would be okay. This might also be absorbent gas mat. So I don't know. As far as the venting, I don't think it's going to be necessary. This battery's in the trunk, underneath a cover. And I don't think, even if it did produce a very tiny amount of gas, I don't think it would hurt anything. If you disagree, put it down in the comments. Oh, by the way, your fancy German car has a battery made in Italy. Just so, you know, some guy or gal's going to argue with you, oh, I have to put a Mercedes battery back in there because that's what it came with. Well, don't get into an argument with somebody who's already got their mind made up and their mind is closed. Don't get into an argument with them about it. Just say, yeah, okay, and enjoy your day. So to put that little adapter under there, you're going to have to lift it up a little bit so the threads will engage with this bolt. So I just use this zip tie piece and put that underneath. You can use a piece of cardboard. You can maybe use your finger if your finger's small. But just stuff something underneath there to lift up. It's really like a nut or an adapter. Lift it up so you can start the threads to be engaged. I took and tied off that breather down there with this zip tie. Just to keep it out of the way. Now we put the positive back on and put the cover back on and so on and so forth. Now, so far as I know, there is no reset of this battery. I think that the message just goes away. It might take 1 or 2 ignition cycles before the message goes away. So just so you know, I just cut a little piece of this scrubby stuff to lift up the other side. It seemed to work a little better than the zip tie. So get that on. See if the cover still fits. I think it will. Now let me use 2 hands. So yes, the cover will fit fine. So check. Okay. If you wanted to, you could, before you put this all back together, you could, clear it out and test drive the car a few times to see if it works. I'm pretty sure it's going to work, so I'm just going to button it back up. And so maybe, again, the trickiest part for you is going to be to get this back on there. Got to have those studs coming out. And I popped out another one of those sleeves, so I'm going to put the sleeve back on there underneath the nut, and it should slide right in there. Sleeve just protects the plastic. It is actually a nice detail that the Mercedes thought of that maybe some other car manufacturers wouldn't bother with. Yeah, it cost a few pennies. Okay, so 2 10mm, 3 T45. Put your little rubber tray back in there. First aid, owner's manual, trunk cover, wife stuff. All right, let's start it up and see if there's any message. Remember I said there might be one until it cycles a few times. Okay, so we got our key. Let's foot on the brake. Let's see what comes up. Well, that message would come up every single time, so I think we are good to go. Give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Ring the bell if you want notification. Be safe, have fun. Froggy out. What did I save you? $250, $350? Not only that, because every time you bring your Mercedes to the dealer, they're going to find something else and tack it on there. So, you're welcome. Bye-bye.